Welcome to SithTalk, brought to you by Gattacara and Lanyard, bringing you news from Star Wars The Old Republic and beyond. Join us now as we explore the universe and take down the Republic in a galaxy not so far away.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Sith Talk. We've got great news. I've actually played.
Woohoo!
I'm not sure why I didn't think of it sooner, but I have two other computers in the house. One is my wife's and one is my nephew's. And while my nephew is nearly always watching someone's live stream or playing some random ass game off of his Steam library, I completely forgot that the wife predominantly sticks with watching movies, which she can do on my computer, or she can do on her computer, or she can do on my TV currently, and the TV I'm going to buy with my taxes. So I asked her if she wouldn't mind. I was going to load up my account. I actually had told you guys on previous episodes I was going to try out a free trial account, and I did that, so we'll talk about that during my week. I want to make sure we throw the traditional Audible shout-out. Remember, guys, by visiting the URL audibletrial.com/SithTalk, you can get your free book, free 30 days. And, of course, if you decide to join up for your first-time subscription to the Audible program, you'll actually be able to chip a few in our till, and that would be greatly appreciated. Had a good week on our Name in Progress show. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to stop by either our YouTube channel or our Podomatic feed or whatever RSS aggregator you use to pick that up. We also have it available on Name in Progress at .podomatic.com if you want to check that out. If not, cool. Glad to see you still listening to us here at Sith Talk. Mm-hmm. We have had a lot of news. Of course, last week's episode was shot prior to a dropping of patch notes and an update. With my current in-game experience, I've gotten to check out a few items, and apparently I'm going to end up dropping quite a few ducats into the cartel coins this week, or whenever my taxes come in. And
for that right there, that's what you're gonna get right there.
Yeah, the new Zerka speeder. Me and Lanyard had actually talked about it earlier. You know, we'd been waiting for a pod racer style vehicle for quite a long time. We thought the pod kite would be the one that broke our hearts. Lanyard actually got one of those on one of his characters, and when we saw this one, both of us kind of melted a little bit. So definitely want to talk to you guys about that when we get to the news. Not a lot of responses from a lot of people. We did have a few people that responded to our other show and some of the things we had said on it. You know, everybody's excited about ESO. One guy actually said that it was Carnot said if he got a beta key for ESO that he would gladly give it to one of us. And nah, dude, keep your keys, dude. Definitely, if you can do a beta, that is a privilege.
You can give me one.
I was trying to be magnanimous.
Give me one. Fuck that. Give me one.
Yeah, give it to Lanyard. He's struggling on which MMO or which online game to play right now, so that'd be a great experience for him too. Definitely a great week as far as SWTOR goes. We found a lot of things that were definitely interesting. I don't know that I'm really excited or happy about all of them, but some of the changes in the game are good. Some of the things that they've introduced into the game are good. You know, Lanyard, I'm guessing your gameplay is what we're seeing on screen most of today, right?
Yeah, not much in the gameplay due to other games, other shows, other things. But I'm on Harbinger, and I started up a Lanyard on Harbinger. He's of course he's a bounty hunter, and he's a chiss, and right now you're seeing the opening video of me. I'm gonna start. I figure on the shows that we don't actually have video in the background, I would just go ahead and play this character and level him up, and you guys can watch it as you go.
Sounds like a good plan. Yeah. Get you a little bit of game time and let everybody else see you play. And
it is the free to play too, so it's completely free to play from scratch, from zero.
Yeah, and I had told people that I was going to do that, and I wanted to see how it affected or how I felt about it. And, you know, that's what my week is all about. I decided to make a character on the Covenant, Jedi Covenant. I did not use my normal account. I used a completely free-to-play account. That's something I got to talk about. You know, most games, when you make a free-to-play account, you have to register an email, all your user information, as well as setting up a password, downloading the client.
Yeah.
Star Wars, you literally make up a bullshit name to use as your account name, and then give them a password, and if you need to, install the client.
Huh.
That's it.
Wow.
There's no personal message information exchanged unless you decide to start buying cartel coins. There's literally nothing. I mean, it's not rocket science. If you can come up with some bullshit username and remember it, then you can log in and play whenever you want to, you know, for however long you want to, through the free-to-play system, which I'm kind of not impressed with. I would, because that thinking being, you know, how many random named characters are going to end up getting into the game to be part of the gold spam nation, or the credit spam nation. And that was my first problem. But, you know, I got in there, and you know, I made Rakat. I went with a Type 2 male body type.
Okay.
And they gave me off the bat a human, a Zabrak, or a cyborg, and I went with Zabrak because that's one of the ones that I haven't played body style. And so far he's making very, very evil, bad decisions. He's threatening children, women, and anyone who gets in the way.
Awesome.
I was told at some point that was actually the best way to play that class, because there's more interesting twists in the storyline.
This is a bounty hunter?
No, it's a Republic trooper.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Trooper. That's how I played Suiza. Miss Badass all the way through.
And I'm going to go with a blaster cannon when that opportunity arrives. I want absolutely nothing to do with tanking. I'll either heal on that character as I play it, or I will DPS on it. It doesn't matter. I'm not, you know, I'm, for lack of a better term, I'm relegated to just missioning, so it doesn't matter what I choose, only that it's sustainable. So more or less, you know, going to look for, you know, maxing out damage and not worrying about anything else until I get a healer, or if I get a class character, which I may or may not utilize.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, I was able to get in 3 hours time, which I think is about the amount of time you and I spent getting to about level 8.
Yeah.
Granted, the two of us were missioning together, which made it a lot quicker for me. And you knew where everything was because you'd been to that Ord Mantell starting zone several times. So overall, not bad. I remembered most of the things there. I took down a few of the mobs that allowed me to get the bonus to you know, my information log, which was really cool. And I enjoyed it. I didn't see as drastic of a reduction in XP as I was expecting. But as one of the early mission rewards, they actually toss you a bone and give you a actual XP bonus. So you get bonus XP for an hour while playing, which wasn't that hard to do.
Yeah.
You know, I wore it out pretty quick. Found myself taking down little here and there mobs that I knew would garner me extra XP because it was an information game. Exploring a little bit more because I knew it was an XP game, and the XP you get from killing mobs has dropped, but not significantly.
Right.
One and two, while it has dropped, and you end up killing incidental mobs all the time anyway.
Right.
I was impressed to see that there was something around 120 people when I started my character, or there was about 100 characters on Ord Mantell when I started my character at 3. By 6 o'clock, there was 125.
Yeah, there's 150 on Hutta right now, and there's 2 Huttas. So.
Yeah, and I didn't even check to see if there were multiples on Ord Mantell. And I did start that on the Jedi Covenant. So, you know, if anybody's a Rakat and you're wondering why he's not responding, it's probably because I'm not allowed to in that particular version of chat. It is me playing on the Republic side. Now, they had talked about rolling characters over there to, you know, they were talking about doing character transfers later in the year. And if they do that, then I'll be interested to maybe put a character over there because I know we have people that are there. Assuming they allow us to transfer to any type of server. If it's not just transfer from PvP to PvP or PvP, you know, that's my only worry. You know, I've never understood why you couldn't transfer from PvP to PvE or PvE to PvP. The argument when we were in World of Warcraft was that the reason you couldn't transfer was because it was presumed that you could get your gear quicker on a PvE server than you could a PvP server because you don't have to.
I don't think that's really true, though.
I don't think that's really all that important either.
No.
But, you know, whatever they say. Additionally, I was going through and, like I said, I was making the bad decisions. You know, I hadn't watched much of the entry video. I hadn't watched many cutscenes. As I've been a 50 for quite a while, I don't think about it. So, you know, I'm going in this with a clear head of what is this worth? Should I do this? Should I go in here? Do I want to watch this? And I decided I'd start watching cutscenes again.
Cool.
And knowing that it has to come from a free frame of mind, I'm going in and going, okay, let's watch this.
Yeah.
What do I feel compelled to play? I'm going to go Republic. Republic. What do I feel compelled to play? And watching the video, to be honest, the most interesting thing for me to see was the troopers. You know, those guys take forefront. Granted, Shatil Shan drops in there, but they're really the guys up there with balls, brass, Death Star-sized balls. I don't know if anybody noticed it, but at one point, one of the troopers actually has his gun knocked out of his hand and goes for his knife.
Yep.
And we're not. It's not a laser sword. It's not some master laser knife.
Just some
it's
like
like standard. It's a standard K-bar knife, like any one of our military soldiers would have. And he just goes at the guy with the lightsaber, and I'm going, that is either the bravest or dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Well, I started the trooper. I forgot how cute Mako was. I was like, oh, there's Mako. She's looks so cute.
You mean Bounty Hunter?
Bounty Hunter. Sorry, yeah, you're saying trooper. Right.
But it's a class I've played before. The type of direction I plan to go when I get the choice is going to be different. But one of the things I did notice, and I'm not real appreciative of, is I understand the game went free to play, but I don't think I need it wedged down my throat about free to play. And the fact that I am playing for free, I respect BioWare for giving me that as a gaming option. But when I started seeing some of the mission rewards, the notes above my head, as our viewers will probably see, it replicates how I feel about what happened. Because I'd see it, and I'd go, wait, what the fuck? Why is there a cartel coin thing over part of my mission rewards?
Mm-hmm. And
you click it, and it says, oh, this is only available if you're a subscriber. And it's just a credit box.
Yep.
And it's... So I don't get the lousy 50 credits that I would have gotten, which would have doubled my mission reward cash off of that.
They're trying to they suck you for everything. I'm surprised they don't make you pay cartel coins for the conversations.
Yeah, I mean it's really kind of depressing. I mean the game because I'm going through all these all the missions and I'm listening to the storyline that I blast through on Nolani, even though Lanyard was going to watch the shit anyway, but I was just like space. Okay, there's one space. There's one space.
Yeah.
And I was just, because normally it's a waste of time. Yeah, I'm a spacebar hero. I'm a spacebar hero. It completely shits on all the programming, but whatever. I wanted to get that character level. That's all I was thinking of. With this one, like I said, I'm trying to use it as the idea that I know that I'm there for storyline. And I didn't get into any groups. I don't know if that was lack of functionality or just because no one saw me or wanted to invite me. There were plenty of groups running around the planet, so obviously grouping was happening. I just didn't need anybody. I threw myself buff on. Once I got, I had my grenade launcher there, it was done. But seeing things in a reward window that tell me, oh, you can't do this, or being blatantly told that the price on certain things at a vendor are more expensive because I'm not a subscriber, that really set me off. And it's not because I don't know that they did it. It's because if I didn't know that they did it, I would feel like I was being additionally taxed. And that's kind of jacked up. It really is. And it's not shitting on the game, because the game's fucking awesome. It's shitting on some decisions that they made when putting it out as free to play. And if it was something that was more or less in the background, like, okay, so we didn't give you we gave you the full game, and we don't tell you that the prices are higher. Maybe items discounted if, or don't even tell me, just make the change because I'm subscribed.
Right.
That's not something I think needs to be out there in the forefront, and I think that does hurt a little bit as a newcomer to the game. Not that I've had to do anything more than repair. I sell every stim, I sell every health pack, I sell any piece of gear once I'm out of it. I'm only level 8. I'm nearing the last town on Ord and starting the mission line there before the planetary heroics that are there. And thus far, I've accrued something near 3,000 credits, and I've had a blast playing.
Nice.
You know, and it was remembering where stuff was, because in my head I'm going, oh man, I want to find the datacrons. Datacrons are important, not only from a perspective of slight bumps to your abilities as you're leveling, but they're also important as in, you know, further in the game you'll be able to make trinkets in the game.
Yeah. So
you can get them that way. I was very impressed that they do start you off at least with one, you know, major XP bump. That was of great help to me, of course. Being able to blow through all the zones, man, that was fucking sick, because I was just like, oh yeah, I remember where this is, I know where that is, this is cool. And being a dick to Jorgen is so
much
refreshing.
fun, isn't it? Oh, I hate that blue bastard.
He just pisses me off so bad. Jorgen is a pain in the ass. Yes, and the worst part is, and you know, I'm trying to keep a fresh mind, but I know that by the end of my storyline on Ord Mantell, that the badass squad is going to shit all over the two of us.
Yeah.
And this numbnut doesn't know it.
Doesn't get it.
Understand.
Which, if you know, when you first play the thing, you can kind of see where he was being duped, right? Yeah. And you're like, oh wow, you kind of feel bad for him because he was duped and he got fucked over. You know, that's military, blah blah blah. But then when you play it again, you're like, dude, how are you so freaking stupid? You know, it's like, ooh, how the hell did you get promoted to begin with, you moron? The guys are doing it right in front of you and you have no clue. Yeah. Yeah. So.
And it's really funny because, you know, you're meeting the team, and, you know, as I finish the storyline on my trooper, I'm going, killed you, killed you, killed you, you were a pain in the ass, killed you. You know, and it's fun. There are some, you know, some slight differences that I've noticed, and it's just because I'm starting to get more spells or more abilities, and as I get the abilities, I'm trying to figure out what I do and don't need, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I have only had to quick travel once, that I've chosen to quick travel just so I didn't have to walk through mobs. But the reduction in XP is completely unnoticeable, especially if you're hoofing it to and hoofing it from. One of the other bits of spit I had to squeegee off my face is when I go to train. Mm-hmm. They show you that Sprint is available for subscribers at 15, but you can buy it now with cartel coins.
Ah.
Just don't show me until 15. Easy enough. No, subscribers get this at level 1, but you can wait till 15 or buy it. And, you know, I mean, it's not like it...
Or preferred, because I got it right now, so...
You know, and that's kind of, once again, that's kind of an interestingly aggravating situation. When I'm in other games and things are free to play, I'm not told constantly that, you know, sorry, you can't use that because you're free.
Right.
Or
there's just a little market. There's a little market, or maybe if like, say for instance you wanted to, I don't know, I'm just trying to pull some free to play thing off, you know, a typical free to play. Actually, the typical free to plays that I play, that I have played, you can play the entire fucking game. The only thing the only difference between a sub player and a free to player is you know, minor things like maybe excuse me, maybe you get a discount at the store, or at the store you can buy special gear. You know, nothing. It's got the same amount of armor that somebody else would have, but it looks different. You know, or it's a fancier gun, or you know, a fancier sword. Or maybe you go to do, you know, you play the whole game, but then you want to go do the ops or the raids or the flashpoints or whatever they want to call them, and and as you click on it, it's faded out, but you hover over it and say, you know, this is subscription only. If you'd like to subscribe, click here. That's it. Otherwise, you wouldn't notice it, you know, because it's a free-to-play game. This is a pay-to-play game.
Yeah. Period.
I mean, you can run around and check out the world till level 50, but you really can't do anything else. It's like a level 55 it's a level 50 trial game.
Yeah, I mean it's not that I mind. My big thing though is that as I go through and I try to play and I try to play and I try to play, I can't help but notice some of those issues. And you know, every free-to-play, whether it started out free-to-play or just went to free-to-play, you're never given any clue that anything's going on. A cat running through the living room.
Oh.
You're never given any clue that it's free-to-play.
Right.
You're being penalized.
Right.
It's blatantly obvious, and that's what's disheartening to me. I don't like the fact that they make it blatantly obvious.
Yeah, and it's like every little thing that you would get as a normal player, every little thing, like you said. Oh, I just did this mission. Well, here's your reward. If you had paid, you'd have this. Or, you know, oh, well, you've maxed out your money. You can't get any more money. What? You know, it's...
Yeah, it's really odd stuff. And some of the safeguards I understand. Some of them I don't. And some of them I wouldn't call safeguards so much as cock blocks. I mean, I'm not saying I'm anybody's superhero. I'm no angel myself. I harp about some of these things in other games, but I don't see the point in making it that blatantly obvious that we're a company who is super happy to admit, you know, interest us in that is not going. No, but you could have this. You know, it's very carrot and stick. Like, here's, you know, we want you to follow us. We want you to pay for us. We want you to pay for us, and it doesn't always work.
After a while, it's like, screw you. You know?
Yeah, after a while, after seeing it a couple of times, I'm like, can I just disable these pay-to-play tips, please? But whatever. You know, I did have fun. I did enjoy myself. I spent
running the low level
3 hours playing it, and being in the low level worlds, I don't even notice it.
Yeah, running the low level is I've always enjoyed that. always loved any MMO I play. I always, when I first start playing a game, I'm really into it. I'm really excited, and as I get older and older, maybe I max a character out, and then I'm having to do, you know, that's a little side note here. What drives me the fucking craziest is when MMO developers say, when you reach level cap, that's not the end of the game. That's just the beginning. Have they played their game? Because there's a lot of 50s that just sit around going, okay, well, I've done this raid 50 fucking times. You know, where's the continuation of this game? It stops when you're 50. You've done everything and you just kind of wait until the next, you know, expansion. But I love going back and making new characters because I love seeing the old worlds again. You know, it gives me that feel of it being fresh. I mean, I haven't started a bounty hunter in forever, and I'm going through this, and even though I can't hear because I've got the sound pretty much down to nothing, I can't hear what's going on. I remember everything. It's like, oh yeah, this is the part where I go threaten the kid and then shoot his father. You know, that's awesome. So I love that stuff.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to be a princess here, but it's telling me that I have to pay for everything that's pissing me off. It's not the fact that I have to pay for everything. You know,
he's no stranger to pulling that credit card out.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm nobody special. I don't necessarily deserve a tiara. I don't want a crown. But I don't feel like jumping through your hoops because you think a carrot on a stick is going to make me do the job.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure it does help, but you know, there's some things that I'm just confused by.
It makes you pretty frustrated.
I want to be able to get into a game and just enjoy. And if the storyline, which we have pushed from every episode, we talk about how great the story is what the draw is, then let us just enjoy it and not have subtle reminders because. Or I was just the sprint thing got to me. Oh, you can have it.
Here it is.
See the button.
Oh.
You want the button? You like the button? Click the button.
The gold button. Look at the little gold button.
Yeah. But and that just confused the shit out of me. Hey guys, we do have good news. This week we do have our old bandit Brutus. He is in the house with a new episode. So rather than walk around, like a cone head, I'll go ahead and let Lanyard cue us up for that when he's ready. And then when we come back, we'll get you with some news.
Got it. Technical difficulties. Let me please just bear with me for a second.
Oh goodness, technical difficulties. We haven't had a Lanyard whoops in forever.
Oh, just this minor technical difficulty. I forgot that I changed the files around.
Oh, okay.
So I just gotta find the Brutus file. Brutus file. Brutus file. Hello. Desktop. Yes, desktop. Well, what the hell?
I don't know. What'd you do? Uh-oh. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I did have fun. I'm looking forward to having more fun. My taxes are supposed to get approved or have already been accepted. Now I'm just waiting for the point where they ship it back out to me and give me some fat loots.
There you go.
And then I will be ordering my power supply and probably overnighting it because I'm jonesing to play all my high-dollar games. I have to say, that's probably the one thing that's pissing me off right now, is I have an epic computer. I was going to put a bunch of money into upgrades and change my mind just because I don't think I need them. Unfortunately, my financial situation demands that I buy something. I take care of something else.
That's a bitch.
But I will be buying my power supply, hoping to get a 1200 watt modular one. I found a really cool one for like $250 that's got multiple colored modular wires to run out of the back of it, which I'm excited about. But it's driving me nuts that I can't play those items on my computer. Yet my wife, which is running a step down from mine, is just killing it.
Right. We're ready.
Oh, we're ready?
Yeah.
Hit it, man. Hit it.
Hello, and this is Bruce the Loremonger, bringing you another battle during the Mandalorian Wars. Today I'm going to talk about the events that happened right before the Battle of Jubilee and the battle itself. So during the Siege of Terrace, what ended up happening right at the beginning was that some Mandalorians caught some transmissions from the Jedi Covenant to one of its Jedi operatives, telling the operative to go find the Myrrh Talisman. So the Mandalorians took this as a sign that there was a powerful weapon that the Jedi did not want to fall into the Republic's hands, and so they took this as a sign to send an exploration team down there to try and find this weapon. And I say this with air quotes because the only reason why the Jedi were sending their agent down there was to actually destroy it, because it was the Rakul device, or the Myrrh Talisman. So the Mandalorians sent their exploration force down there, followed the Jedi, but then because of interception from files that were being sent between the Covenant and the Jedi Celestial Morn, they were able to find it, and they did find it right before the Jedi, because Celestial and Moore and Zane Carrick fought each other, because Zane was still deemed the murderer of all of his fellow Padawans, even though that did not truly happen. But at that time, because they realized how powerful the talisman was, if it fell into the hands of the Mandalorians, they had a temporary truce at that point to try and stop them. So they followed the Mandalorians once they found it to their ship. And because they couldn't stop them on the ship, they just stowed away on the ship until the time was right. But the Mandalorian commander was feeling a bit of pride and taking the weapon away from the Jedi. So as he was inspecting it with his other men under his command, the talisman then had a will of its own and wrapped itself on the Mandalorian commander's arm, and in a rage and confusion and everything else, he started going berserk and ended up actually killing all of his men at that point. But then he started falling gravely ill, and due to the Jedi were stowed away, they heard screams, but they weren't sure what happened. But risk getting detected at this point, they just stayed on the ship and did nothing, even while the screams were happening. Ghibli itself is not of any real strategic value. All it is just one big ice planet that has no real natural resources or anything. But the Mandalorians actually used this to their advantage. They put up a base there for two reasons. One, to bring in all the new recruits from the Outer Rim territories so that they can be transferred out. But at the same time, it was used as a staging point currently now in order to be used to launch an attack on Alderaan. And if the Mandalorians were successful in launching this attack on Alderaan, because it is a core world and it was one of the founders of the Republic, there was no telling how far they could have gone, and it would have ultimately really demoralized the Republic. But when the Mandalorian commander did land on the planet, he was gravely ill, and he went to the med labs. He was asked his guys, take me to the med labs, whatever. So with the Mer talisman on him still, it was basically still spreading the Rakghoul virus to all those around him while he was going through the base. And all these Mandalorians started getting the plague. Now, with all these Mandalorians starting to turn, the Mandalorians started turning on each other at this point, and it started becoming a war of survival on the planet. So that really lost all hope for the Mandalorians trying to attack the planet of Alderaan. Now, with Zane, Carrick, and Celestial Morn, and another Jedi, they were still on their mission to get the Mer talisman so it could be destroyed. They eventually did find the Mandalorian commander, who did turn into a Rakghoul himself, did kill him, and at which point it attached itself to the talisman itself was beginning to attach itself to Zane Carrick. But in between events, Zane actually told Celestial the real reason, and she ended up believing him. There are more events that go into it. I'm paraphrasing. She sacrificed herself to take the Mer talisman away onto her rather than Zane, because she knew he was innocent and did not commit the massacre. So she took on the talisman herself, but she was not turned into a Rakghoul at this point. She really became its master, in air quotes. But at this time, too, Cassius Fett did arrive to make final preparations for the Battle of Alderaan. But when he arrives, he finds out that most of his troops are being attacked by Rakghouls, and so no one is really aware of what's happening. So with the Rakghouls happening, and he sees this as a losing battle, so Cassius Fett orders a full nuclear strike on the planet in order to prevent the spread of the Rakghoul plague, because the Mandalorians just wanted to destroy the Republic, not deal with a completely new threat that can ultimately destroy them also. So before the nuclear strike actually was able to happen, Zane, Carrick, and more were able to actually escape the planet before the nuclear strike came down, and Zane actually knew Celestial might turn into a Rakghoul at this point, so he had a plan to put her in a stasis-like state until Zane could clear his name and then come after her to help her get released from the Mer talisman itself. But that is for another story. And with that is the Battle of Ghibli itself. Tune in next week for another battle during the Mandalorian Wars.
Alright, another great episode from Brutus. I want to thank him for that. And, you know, guys, though they released some patches late, they also released some news late from after our last podcast, so we do have quite a bit to go over. Lanyard, play that beautiful news footage.
Here's your galactic news. Look what you missed while you were sleeping.
All right. So, you know, on top of a patch that dropped this last week, which gave us so many great new items in our cartel market, we also had some fun news for those of us who pre-ordered the Hut Cartel digital expansion. Not only do we have the whole new worlds, the whole new storyline, 5 more levels, whole new planet, but those of us who pre-order it will be privy to a Dr. whooob hollow statue. Now, hollow statues I'm not huge on, but it's going to be about the same size as the one that's currently available, so a little bit larger, if not the same size, as one of the tallest characters in the game, as far as the playable characters, of a hut, which I actually thought looked really cool on their website. Made me really happy to see that. The other item is the Merkin Seedling Mini Pet. Basically looks like a small walking patch of grass, which was kind of creepy. You know, it's got like woodland feet, but there's this small head and almost indiscernible eyeballs. But the other thing, of course, is a mixed blessing. Whether you're if you're, you know, you've gotten the unlock for being able to display titles, which is the title, The Scourge of the Huts. Which is of course going to be displayed by every person who pre-ordered it the second it gets on there. But it's interesting. I mean, you think about it in respects to the idea, if you're already paying for the game, you only had to pre-order it for $5, right? And here's a hollow statue, which is about a $4 value, a mini pet that could be between a $4 and $6 value, and then a title which is normally only a random drop out of the box that they've been giving us. So you know, that's another $15. So at that point, you could justify as a free-to-player to pay for the digital expansion at $20, because you're basically buying a statue, a title, and a mini pet, right?
Yeah. A tweet from Javeth 11 minutes ago. Completely Star Wars unrelated. Probably shouldn't have started watching a documentary on Netflix called After Porn Ends at the gym on my phone. Probably.
Wow.
I was just zipping through the tweets and I saw that and I was like, well, okay, there's one. Yeah.
Well, proof positive, that is his personal Twitter account. I'm just after porn. You know what? I've watched that documentary.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, just going off the title alone, and I know this is way off track. This is more of a nip type, but just going off the title alone, is that about old porn actors and what happens to them after they've quit porn? Is that what that's about?
It's, yeah, more or less. I mean, it's a mini bio for them, which is kind of interesting.
Okay.
They give the bio, like, how they got into it, what they did then, and what they're doing now. Got it. And, you know, why they got into it. It's really funny because it's not like anybody within the last 10, 15 years of porn. These are classics, dude. We're talking to people who got into it in the 70s, 80s, and very early 90s at best.
Wow.
So these are people that look like your grandparents talking about when they were hot and did porn. Yeah. Ew, thanks for that.
I didn't like you know, the 70s. The 70s porn was no good anyway. I mean,
well, you know,
too much storyline.
I'll save that one for when we do NIP.
Right, there we go. I love that acronym.
All right, so as far as what we got in the patches, of course, the cartel market items being the most important in the total of it, but we'll go over 1.6.3 regular and A. In the first patch, of course, which was 1.6.3, we got the new Circa Incendia mount, which is the one that Lanyard and I are currently juicing over. We've both been waiting for a pod racing bike for fracking ever, and this one has flames. So that's all I could ask for. Unless it allowed me to throw wrenches at other people when we were, driving down the road, I don't know what else I could ask for.
It's got to have that sound, though. It's got to have that sound. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
So, if it does have that sound after we post the videos on YouTube, or if you could just email it with me and let me know, because I'm not high enough to get to a space shuttle on the free-to-play one yet, and I'm not going to go onto my main account until I can buy that, because it'll just feel like teasing myself. Someone let me know if it makes that ridiculous noise. If so, that will inspire me and Lanyard to do it. If I could, Lanyard, I would just gift the damn thing to you.
I know, but they don't allow gifts.
Still don't have a gifting system.
They don't allow gifts. You can always just email me $20.
That's true. That is true.
Fax it to me.
PayPal is a motherfucker. Let's see. We also got 3 new suits of armor. That being the Sam People Pillager set,
which looks
cool.
is
it looks cool. It's almost identical, if not just a slight respray of the one that they gave away during.
It's got a couple more armors on it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more detail to it. It's got a bounty hunter-esque chest piece. So there's a few slight noticeable differences. Then there's the sanctified caregiver set and a malevolent interrogator set, which are basically designed for the respective peers. You would more than likely get the caregiver set or caretaker set for your
Wow, yeah.
Jedi Knight or your Jedi Sage, or you would get the malevolent set for your warriors, your warriors or your sorcerers. So those are the options there. There's the preferred access bundle, which grants you a number of customizable unlocks. Now this is one that I really like. It's a fair price. It's about $10. So if you were a starting character, you were starting a new character, you were free to play for the equivalent of $10, which means money. Like Lanyard and I were talking about it, at 50 or at top end, you could perceivably pay for these things on the auction house for fair money.
Yep.
But if you're just getting started and you're like, man, sucks that I keep unlocking this stuff and I can't use it, or man, I'm sick of all this hodgepodge shit gear, and you wanted something better, then you could get it. Buying this bundle for right now, it's on the market for 972 cartel points. You'll unlock the inventory module. Your band.
Oh, you're breaking up bad, dude.
Well, breaking up bad.
Yeah, you just pixelated out and it. Try that again.
Well, for the preferred access bundle, it's 972 cartel coins. You unlock an inventory module. You unlock a crew skill slot, which means you get all 3 slots with purchase of that. You get your improved speeder piloting license. You're able to display your titles. You'll display a legacy name when you unlock it. The unifying colors of your gear. Now that's for you, not for the whole account or for your companion, but nonetheless. And you only have to be level 10. So once you're off of your starter planet, you're able to use those items.
Cool.
And that's a pretty cool.
That's not a bad pack. How much is that?
It's 972 was the most recent listing of it.
Ding.
Congrats. Let's see. On top of that, they have discounts on almost all the other unlocks. Access to the Section X for your character or account has been reduced by 10%. Cargo hold access for character or accounts have been reduced by 20%. Cargo bay discounted by 20% on character and account. The newcomer bundle, which is actually kind of cool too.
What's that
trying to find my note for that. Tell me I didn't close. There it is.
Newcomer bundle. I can pull
my newcomer bundle. Yeah, it's quick travel pass, which is which. Not a bad deal. If I remember, I'm not sure. Is that the quick travel for the main ship, or is that the quick travel
that's just your quick travel. Yeah, well, it's just quick travel to like what you use, your little glowing ball, so you can quick travel back to wherever on the map.
So it's just an additional quick travel.
Right.
Then.
So the bundle contains a quick travel pass, a Zerka cruiser. What? A Zerka cruiser? Oh, just a regular cruiser speeder.
Cruiser, yeah.
Yeah, that's that stupid one. Okay.
The long
this bundle contains 5 minor XP boosts, a legacy perk, which is a improved speeder piloting. So it's not too bad, not too shabby. It's very minor. I still like the other one that you were mentioning, the preferred access bundle.
Yeah, well, since you've got it up on screen, why don't you go ahead and show everybody that one?
The preferred access bundle?
Yeah.
It's got items that require level 10. This bundle contains the unlock inventory module, crew skill slot, legacy perk improves speeder piloting 1, customization control display titles, customization control unify colors, and customization control display legacy name for $9.72. Yeah.
So not a bad price. I mean, it's basically $10. You'd be able to unlock all of that, and that's really a decent bargain if you're just starting your character off. Of course,
it says that's the preferred access, but I've got preferred access and I can't show my titles, so maybe that's a little extra bonus.
Yeah, an additional unlock. Let's see, and it also says at level 10, so...
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe you haven't, yeah.
I haven't exactly gotten my legacy yet, so...
Yeah. And, of course, like we said in the last show, we're getting rid of all of the holiday items, and apparently including, limited to, but not including, everything. No, they got rid of all the fireworks. Which really, I don't. The fireworks were nice, but they were a waste of credit.
I just got some in my mailbox for the year anniversary because I'm still on the same account, so I got like 400 things in my mailbox when I first logged in. It's like, okay, throw this away, throw this away, throw this away. Don't need that. Throw that away.
Yeah.
So that fancy holocam that everybody the screen.
Yeah.
Screenshot holocam.
That was just
a joke.
I can zoom in. Yeah. Well, when I got that and unlocked it, I was so excited. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fucking cool. I thought I was gonna be able to basically do, like mind control or mind vision on World of Warcraft, where I just be able to tag somebody or just follow somebody around with it. And when I exited out of it, I thought, oh, I'm going to be standing where I was. No, I was walking behind the person. It was the equivalent of zooming all the way in so I couldn't see my character.
Right.
That's bullshit. And apparently they went ahead and put one of my favorite spots at the top, bug fixes. It says, players who purchase vehicles via the cartel market will now find their protection against being knocked off has been scaled up to speeder piloting 3, regardless of the speeder piloting level. So any vehicle that you buy off of the cartel market will have a resistance to getting knocked off by mobs. So those of you who have to run, maybe your cooldown's not up on your travel pass or your quick travel, you'll be able to get on your speeder and burst through mobs a little bit quicker.
That's nice.
All the crystals on the cartel market and from cartel packs can now be placed on the cartel on the Galactic Trade Network. The Fancy Reveler's outfit piece now has the correct display icon. Players will no longer be able to use unlock, such as unlock quick quick bars when you already have the maximum. So that one you would have thought wasn't rocket science, but apparently that was a faux-pas. Although I want to meet the people who bought it when they had 6. They were like, oh, I keep unlocking them. Like, who needed like 10, 15 fucking taskbars?
Right.
That is some serious, key management issues.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
I did have the 5th one for like accessories. Just just stupid stuff like the Jawa or having all my speeders out. That way I can select what speeder I want to fly instead of because they don't have the random speeder pickup. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be a nice little add-on.
Yeah.
Free button.
Or my pets. A little random free button for dropping.
Let's see. It says Colorcoid War in Flashpoints. Friendly Colorcoids in Colorcoid War game are now immune to the gap closing abilities such as Intercede, so no one can tab a mob ahead of them to keep from having to walk the distance, which is interesting. In Terrell 5, players are now required to defeat General Edikar in order to complete the flashpoint of Terrell 5. which means no boss skipping, which is something you and I have both been against and for at different points in time. Over in EV, players can no longer pull guards to the entrance of the room. Yeah, I don't know which one.
Garge is Garge the EV? Okay, I'm trying to remember EV now. Garge.
I thought it was the first boss.
No, the first boss in EV is the big robot. Then you have, yeah, I don't remember. Okay, cool. Well, we can't do that. Okay.
Karaga's Palace, players no longer able to reach the top pillars during the Foreman Crusher encounter.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Top of the pillar. So, yeah, okay. So we're talking about actually just climbing to the very top of the pillar by interceding up to the mobs there.
Right. Okay.
Okay. In war zones, it says in ancient Hypergate, Alacrity will no longer speed up the capture of energy orbs. Well, that's good. That sounds like an odd, meshed mechanic there.
Yeah.
So that's good. That means that casters won't have the ability to cap things faster than anyone else. The new tiebreaker mechanic: if both teams have an identical score after reaching 600, the match enters sudden death mode, where the first team to capture a pylon wins the game.
Nice.
Gaining defensive objectives will no longer incorrectly display as an invalid effect icon. That's always helpful. Engaging in combat near a defense object will now correctly reset the vote kick timer.
Okay.
That's interesting. Maybe trying to catch people who are AFK. Players can no longer leave spawn area prior to match in Void Star. That's the third time.
Yeah, that's the third time they fixed that.
Okay. Man, you guys are good, because I hadn't figured out how to
well, the only time I ever found one was at the very beginning, where you could jump up on the, the two little pylon, or two little...
Yeah, right up front.
You just jump on the ledge, and then you just basically jump right over the force field, but you can't... That's the first one they fixed, so apparently somebody's been finding the other two places.
Oh man, you guys are sneaky. That's all I have to say. Let's see. In space combat, it says heroic space combat missions will now be available on the correct day, so they'll reset on the correct day as far as the weekly goes on that. Space combat daily missions will now be available 12 hours earlier. They will now reset each day at 6 a.m. CST, 4 a.m. PST, 7 a.m. EST, 12 p.m. GTM, 1 p.m. CET, and 11 p.m. AEDT. Whatever the hell that is.
Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Oh, sure. Why not? Wait, is that for real?
I think so, yeah.
Players will no longer receive an ineligible system message when accepting daily...
Eastern Daylight Time.
When accepting daily space combat missions. Under the UI, it says corrected an issue where logging out would cause the UI to not display at character select. And then the quick bar lock and unlock graphic has been reverted to its old icon. So that's always good. Hey, look! There's something missing in French and German. What's that? Added missing text in the cartel for French and German versions? No way!
They haven't learned their lesson yet. Every time they add something, they're like, "Oh crap, we should have had a translator do this." That's what they get for hiring an intern.
Let's see. Well, and then they had the adjunct patch, the 1.6.3a. It says on the cartel market, the following armor sets will no longer incorrectly list Helm as part of the description. That being the Sanctified Caregiver, the Malevolent Interrogator, the Clandestine Officer, the Interstellar Pirateer, the Valiant Jedi, and Sith Raider armor sets will no longer list those incorrectly.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. But no, I mean, I'm really happy to see that they're getting the items out for the new cartel items. That's what I was really looking forward to, seeing what they were able to get. I am kind of angered because now I'm going to have to spend an extra 20 bones on the game this month. But, you know, all's fair in love and collectibles.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go back to that one pet.
The grass?
The Markin seedling mini pet. It looks like a one-eyed arachnid made of wood with a bit of palm on top. And depending on the size, this could be an awesome mini pet or just a mini pet. But it does give us an idea of what type of monster we might be able to look forward to seeing in this expansion. And of course, the hut being there is interesting. Let's see if I can pull up. This is Brutus's section. I wish I had him. Where's it? No, you mean to tell me they don't have it on that? Mother. But I mean, it's an interesting statue. I would like to see the size of it a little bit better, but you know, I'm trying to pull up Wikipedia. There it is. I'm trying to see if I can find him on Wikipedia. But I mean, it's so I had a lot of fun playing this week, and I'm glad that I got in. I'm glad that the wife relented and let me use her computer because she doesn't normally. Mainly because I don't. And whenever I get on one of the kids' either my nephew or my wife's computer, I immediately go to fixing and deleting and cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Which they both hate me doing because I end up deleting shit they want.
Yes.
Well then, okay.
The Wookiee speaks in English. Holy shit.
She wasn't gonna deny you that one.
Yeah. But you know, I just
neither does the cat.
Well, the wife's moving, so the cat won't shut up. So would you go do what you're gonna do? Because I don't need to opening his mouth and thank you. Live recording, kids. It's what everybody dreams about. But no, I mean, I had a lot of fun. I do miss my full-time characters, but I don't see anything that I'm particularly missing out of the game. I mean, right now, everything's there, and let's be honest, as far as PvP goes, until you hit the level that you can PvP, you're not even alerted to it.
Right.
The dungeons aren't going to make a big difference because the only dungeon that is necessitated is the one that you encounter while traveling to your second planet. So, you know, that three per day or per week, you know, no big damn deal because you're only going to go through it once, and then once you land, you're back on the next planet. So I guess it's kind of a plus that they didn't institute the planetary zones for these particular flashpoints in this game. I do think that world-based flashpoints would have been interesting. But I do understand why they're not there technically, because if they were, then you wouldn't be able to get away with pushing them in the one spot as an entry zone.
Right.
I almost forgot how quick you can blow through Ornamental, and even with the reduction in XP, I'm not seeing any problems. And I really want that fucking text message.
Yeah.
My woman's talking in the building, your woman's talking on the phone.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see how I feel, and I'm really excited because I'm having fun playing in this particular model without having the ability to send my character a bunch of money for fun or just, you know, to unlock, because that's like the first thing I do with it as soon as they are far enough along to get in near a particular mailbox. Since they get to a mailbox, I either send them gear or I send them money to unlock their XP items.
It's not going to work on your new free account, and it's not going. It's not going to work with Lanny here either because I can't send it across servers.
Right. So I mean, it does in essence end up having the same effect. So I'm completely on my own, doing whatever happens, and I'm not short on cash. You know, I can buy pretty much whatever I need as I'm going. I see no problem with that whatsoever.
I've got 340 credits so far.
Yeah, and you know, as long as they don't jack up the price of my training, I'm good to go.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do what I was telling you I was gonna do before. I was trying to to limit my spending. Like, for instance, I haven't done any repairs. I've ran everywhere, and I'm going to see. I'm going to see if I can just get the skills that I want to use. So obviously he's bounty hunter, so I'm going to use a lot of the range stuff. I did pick up the power punch because I love the power punch, but you know, there's going to be certain things that are coming up that I'm just going to be like, okay, I know I never use that on Lanyard Prime, so I'm not going to buy it, which will save me some money.
Yeah, and that's like I'm not upgrading stock strike on mine because I'm playing it from the perspective of range. So I don't want to be anywhere near tanking distance.
Right.
I see myself making sure that I go as far out of my way to be nowhere near them, and because in the starting zone there's not a lot of melee mobs, I launch in with a sticky nade, pop them with a few the explosive charges, and then I hit them with my auto shots. That's it. You know, that's all I need. And with the exception of buying the different cylinders, which, based on how I'm playing this character, I'm probably going to stick with the base incendiary cylinder, which means I don't need to purchase the plasma cylinder or the other one. I can't remember what the other one's called right off the top of my head. But
yeah. There's like a medical cylinder, something that does extra damage, and there's another one that does better penetration or something. I don't know.
Right, there's an armor pen. Yeah, there's a couple different ones, but I'm going to stay away from those and just stick on upgrading my plasma cylinder and having fun with that, setting things in fire. I bought the high impact bolt, although I don't know how often I'm going to use it.
Dude, that's a great one. Especially depending on how you set up your character. If you go, like, say for instance you go, you're talking about trooper, right?
Yeah.
So if you go where there's a lot of the high impact bolt, there's one of them. I'm thinking bounty hunter now because I'm focused on Lanny, but there's one of them that if you, like, for instance, if you set them on fire, or if your high impact has a serious amount of damage, or if you, I think it's a stun. If they've been stun locked, or just stunned or immobilized, you hit that high impact bolt, and it does some serious damage. It's a nice finishing move.
Yeah, and it's only able to be used on targets under the effect of damage over time.
Okay.
So the fact that I'm using plasma bolt, or I'm using the plasma cartridge for my rifles, means that I never, I'm always going to have the chance for periodic damage, not including my grenades. So as that goes through, I'll keep upgrading and seeing how that works. Just because, like I said, I'm going for damage. I'm not doing any DP, and I'm thinking of single-player survivability here. I'm not thinking about what am I going to do for the group, which is what I always think of. I always think of where can I fit in at the top end of the spectrum. Where can I fit in with this? If I go with if I'm in dungeon runs, where do I fit in on PvP? And I try to watch it all that way. And this way, I don't have to do that at all. Which is what I'm excited about. And it's been fun so far. Unfortunately, the wife's in front of her computer and Sans moving a 45-pound machine. I'm pretty much done playing that for the night, which makes me sad. I was having so much fun. I wish I could. I'll talk to Meth about it. I'll see if I can use the data stream at the house to somehow load the wife's computer up and play on it from my chair. So I never have to actually get onto her computer again, because that was a pain in the ass.
Right.
Well, okay, so my normal setup, everybody could see in the videos, I play in an easy chair. I've got a 55-inch monitor ahead of me. I've got a 17 down the side of me. And I sit here, and my right hand's on my Razer mouse, and my left hand's on my keyboard, and I do my thing. On my wife's side, she only has the left armrest, so I can't use my mouse hand on my mouse unless I have it on my butt or on my next to my butt or on my legs, which is somewhat uncomfortable. But the way she does it, she actually crosses over her keyboard and plays with the mouse on the armrest. So she's playing a mini game of Twister while playing games, and I can't do that.
Right.
I did talk to the wife, and I'm currently instead of upgrading my computer, I think I'm going to upgrade my recording area. that's what I'm leaning towards now. I've got a big walk-in closet that I can set up a recording area with my computer and run another 20 to 35 foot data cable all the way into my bedroom and set up a recording area there. And instead of getting another 55-inch monitor, I'm going to turn in the monitor that I was renting. I'm going to get a slightly smaller screen in the living room, and I'm going to try to match up 22-inch screens or something near that to give me basically the same effect I would from playing on a big screen, but not taxing my video card as much.
There you go. Yeah, I run the 32 with a 22, and even though my video card can handle 3 monitors, my computer apparently cannot. So, because I would like, in this situation where I'm doing the game and doing the video at the same time, it would be great because I have to keep switching back and forth between this and the video software. But it'd be perfect for the 3rd screen. But whatever. So, I saw a 55 Slim TV from Samsung for $1,500. Ooh, it was so nice looking. I was like, So.
Well, you know, and it's the type. The thing I love about having just a big screen, and it works really well for my RPGs. Is I don't need a 360 view. I don't need to see up in front of me and the sides of me. So I don't need anything like an iFinity setup. But when I'm playing a first-person shooter, it helps to have the slight difference in angles to be able to see the sides. And I do respect that. I just don't want it, you know. But I cannot wait to get my fucking power supply. I want to play Star Wars so bad, and I want to be able to play my character so bad. I didn't think... I really, in all earnest, thought it would be like when I stopped playing WoW. I would either lose interest in the game, or just be, I'd be like, it's okay. Yeah. I'll get back to it when I get back to it. Yeah. It'll be there. Not worried about it. But then getting a taste of it off the free-to-play account, I'm just like, oh, I got so many characters to level. I want to play so bad. But if I'm on the game for more than 15 minutes, it kicks me off. Yeah. So hopefully my money comes through like I'm expecting it to, and I can get that upgraded before the next show. It wouldn't be the first time I've had to call Newegg and say I need this tomorrow.
Right.
And it won't be the last. I've done that several times. Whether it was power supplies or I wanted a video card, or I do it a lot, guys. Newegg is my favorite resource. Not only is it easy to use, but it's somewhat tech
friendly.
Well, not tech friendly. Tech friendly would be more like Tiger Direct, which I fucking hate. I would say more noob friendly.
Oh, okay.
Because it allows you to go through and when you go searching the parameters, it asks you, it says here's what you're asking about, and with the amount of specs that they list, it's easier to narrow down your search. With Tiger Direct, it's very much, so you want a 1300 watt power supply? That's great. And they just throw you everything. Whereas with Newegg, I can choose my power supply by brand, by the amount of amperage it puts out, by the top mount or bottom mount, modular, non-modular, all these things that confuse people. But because I told Mep I want it modular because I want to be able to clean up the way my wires look and stop impeding so much airflow into my computer. Although I may just for shits. I may order the new tower. I mean, I'm already spending $200. What's another 100 and change?
Nah.
It's a tax return. That's what they're for.
Right?
I'm stimulating the economy, Mr. Obama.
Right.
But and that's and I'll have to, after the show I'll get you a link to one of the ones I'm looking at, and the case, because the case is retarded sized. But I'm really interested in getting in there. I want to know about you guys. How are you guys faring in the game? I know some of you have just started your accounts back up. Some of you have gotten bored. Some of you are trying to get into other games so that you can, get a break from this game, and I do respect that. I've had a rather extensive break myself, so I can't argue.
Or you're like the three of us, and you play multiple games at once, and you can't figure. At one time, before I got the girlfriend, I had a schedule, so I would play Game X on Tuesday, Game X on Wednesday, Game Z on Thursday, Star Wars on Saturday. It was that bad because I wanted to play all my games, and I knew that if I got into one, the other, and just, you know, like focused on that one, the other ones would suffer, and then I would come back to that game, and just like going back to my first character on SWTOR, I'm like, okay, what does the buttons do? And I have to start over. Rift, I have to make a whole new character, because even though I have level 40 and up, I don't remember how to play it, so I have to start all over again just to remember how, and I've changed it so much to play things. So maybe you're like that as well. Did that make any sense at all?
I'm trying to figure out who the fuck ever schedules their game time.
I do. I have to.
I'm impulsive, dude. I
can't be impulsive.
It's spur of the moment.
I don't be impulsive, because if I do impulsive, I actually get stuck on something for like weeks, and then I'm bored with it and I'll stop. Like Secret World. I haven't had any interest in playing Secret World for several weeks now. I am interested in playing World of Tanks now because of the 8.3. They added new tanks and whatnot. So I was playing that yesterday and the day before, and was having a lot of fun with it. Now I'm playing SWTOR, and I've just started a new character, and I'm like, hey, this is kind of fun. I remember all this. It's a lot of fun. So, would you stop messing with your camera, fool? I keep thinking shit's going fucky hair wire over here, and I'm like testing shit. I look over, and you're all wonky. I'm like, ah, shit.
Hey, man, I can't help it.
Anyway.
You know, I'm a baller. What can I say?
Wish I was a baller. I wish I was a little bit taller.
Wish I had a girl in the hood of a collar. Wish I had a rabbit hat, 6'1" Impala. But no, yeah, terrible song. Damn you, Skilo. But no, for me, it's one of those things where like I won Trin off of that Steam Games the other night, so I was playing that, and then
who's Trin? She sounds cute.
Trin's an awesome little side-scrolling adventure game. Maybe I'll buy that one for you and Kevin.
Oh, hey, by the way, I played your Spaceballs.
Thank God.
That marble thing?
Yeah.
And, yeah, fuck you. I tried recording it, but Overwolf won't work with it because it's such a weird screen. And the only other thing I have is Fraps, and I guess I could use the video that we're using now, but I didn't think of that. But you try to use Fraps, and Fraps only records a certain amount of time, then shuts off because I didn't pay for it. So, I only got the training session, which was cake, right? I was like, oh, this looks like it's gonna be a little fun. And then I went out and I got all the way across. I was like, okay, I'm on the ropes. I go across the ropes. I get up. Then that little swirly thing, that first one you go to, where you got to go down a little slide, then hit the ramp and land on this itty bitty strip of land. Yeah, never could land on that strip of land. So I said, fuck you, and I turned it off.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to incite that rant when we do the NIP podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll have to do some more so I can record it. But yeah.
And when I get my power supply upgraded, I'm going to start posting a few more videos on the randomness. But you know, I do play a lot of different games. As we started NIP for the purpose of, you know, telling you guys about all the other games we play. Rats. What are you, like level 4?
Yeah, 4.
Jesus. Wow. 4, and it only took you an hour.
Well, I've been dicking around too, so like I didn't play much during the episodes because, or the clips, because I wanted to make sure I was back in time, and I didn't want to be having noise over it. But yeah, so I'm only 4. I'm over it with the leather face people right now. Talking to the old man that ruined the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and fuck up the water supply.
Garrick.
I don't want to go over there.
Garrick with that cool mask on.
But you know, I mean, I play so many games, and it does. I get into those modes, man, and every gamer does. Unfortunately, the mode of not playing Star Wars lately has been because of my computer and not because of a want or diswant to play. And it's not a lack of love. I love almost every game that's in my catalog. The only one I've had the fake love for was Elder Scrolls, and I'm gonna try to play that again since Kevin gave me shit. But it depends on the mood. When I come home from work, it's whatever hits me. I might play an hour or so of audio surf and be like, I just can't concentrate. My eyes are going wonky. Or I come home and I spend a week where all I want to do is, you know, blow people up in Battlefield. Or I don't feel like bothering with anybody. I won't log into Vent. I'll just get into one of my single-player games and enjoy. And that's the way I think every gamer is. You get burnt out if you push, And, you know, one of the things Lanyard and I worried about was that we would get burnt out by Star Wars because we did a show for Star Wars. And even that does, from time to time, happen. There's no one game, in my mind, that should ever be able to be allowed to wholly encompass your time. Because if it does, it can lead to doldrum. So if you do take a break, maybe that's what you should find. You should let us know. What, you know, you've been taking a break. What have you been up to?
Yep.
Is there anything that, you know, I know Brutus was supposed to get up with us and let us know how his weekly takedowns on the world boss on Belsavis was going for him over in Section X. He was trying to work for the 5 stacks, you know, being one of the, he wants his guild to be part of the world firsters who get in there and take down that boss with the 5 stacks. So I hope him and his crew are doing well. I hope Con Artist is having a lot of fun playing whatever game he is. Haven't heard from Kiwi in a while. Wondering how he's doing. The interesting thing is, while you guys may be taking a break from the game in and of itself, you're still showing us love, and that's really what makes me happy is the fact that we're still entertaining enough to be able to elicit you guys to listen to us while you're doing your schoolwork.
Which is funny because I never thought we were entertaining to begin with. But
yeah, well, you know, I do have to admit, having Kevin on his occasional rants on the NIP podcast has definitely reminded me what's fun about podcasting with him.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about talking to him.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, I don't know, man. I want my money. I want my money now. Fucking IRS.
I have other business. Just stop.
Yeah. Oh, my wife's quoting that terrible J.G. Wentworth commercial. It's my money and I want it now.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately that doesn't work with them.
No, not at all. It's our money until they give it back to us. Or it's their money until they give it back to us, however you get it. But I do thank you guys for your support. Definitely make sure and check out NIP. I will hopefully be able to get my power supply within the next 2 weeks and be able and continue my stories on the free-to-play account as well as my normal pay-to-play account. And then I'll be able to maybe throw some video up about that awesome speeder.
Oh.
I'm really hoping that's the tire sound.
And I hope they're huge too. I hope it's not like this little tiny. I want gigantic, annoying sit on the mailbox type jets. That's what I want.
Well, it looks like you get the equivalent of a child's booster seat to sit in,
attached to 2 747 engines.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. It's like that's awesome.
I'm just hoping that the power coupling looks cool.
Yeah,
because they have the power coupling there, but I don't know how cool it's going to look.
Yeah. Well, then when you pull it up in the cartel market to look at it, you know how you can view it. It doesn't show those. So that's,
did you do the preview?
Yeah, I did the preview, and it doesn't show the power couplings. So it might be, which might just be a
bug for
bug that they need to fix or something like that. But yeah, it didn't show it. But it is pretty cool looking. I definitely want one. So yeah. And
I'll say in advance, I'm sorry for the short episode this week, guys. Hopefully next week we get Brutus and Pseudo in here. And as soon as my power supply's on, I swear to God, I will be having more fun than you know. I was looking all over the place for unique names or interesting guild names on the Jedi Covenant server. There was none.
None?
There's like no. They were all normal, kind of stupid names, or, you know, I started my name with an X and the rest of it doesn't make any sense and kind of shit. So that was kind of aggravating, but whatever, not a big deal. But once again, thank you for your support, and until next week, we'll see you in the pit.
Thank you again for joining us here on Sith Talk. Lanyard and Dadakar look forward to talking with you next week. Remember to follow us on Twitter at SithTalk, or stop by our Facebook page at facebook.com/SithTalk. And of course our Gmail is SithTalk@gmail.com. This music brought to you by freeplay.com. And remember, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me.